boy brushed away the sand, only to uncover a landmine. Carefully, he twisted off the cap and pulled out the fuse. Lucky for him, it was a successful disarm. But on this beach alone, there were still 45,000 more landmines, and not everyone would be so fortunate. 6 months earlier, Germany had surrendered. The once mighty German soldiers were now prisoners of war under Danish control. As Karl drove past a group of them, he suddenly slammed on the brakes and reversed. Without warning, he snatched a German flag from one of the prisoners and shoved the soldier to the ground. A flurry of punches left the young man's face bloody. Karl hated the German soldiers, and he especially loathed these prisoners. Beating them was how he unleashed his fury.
Das ist mein Land, habt ihr verstanden? Raus!
The war might have ended, but for these POWs, the real ordeal was just beginning. They were ordered to clear the beaches of landmines the Germans had left behind. On Denmark's west coast alone, there were some 2.2 million mines. By the end of the war, Germany was a crumbling empire, and most of the soldiers taken prisoner were barely more than kids. Many of them had never even seen a landmine, let alone disarmed one. After only the most basic instructions, they were sent straight into the field. One boy entered a bunker and gently placed a mine on the ground. Slowly, he twisted off the top and pulled out the fuse. Disarmed, he lifted the now empty shell out of the way. They worked one after another, their lives hanging on each move. It might have seemed like a simple process, but every step was a gamble with death. One boy's hands were shaking even before he touched the mine. He took a few deep breaths, but still couldn't bring himself to open the cap. The supervising officer checked his watch, yelling at the boy to hurry. Then, swearing under his breath, the officer stormed into the bunker to see for himself. He told the boy to stop, but the kid insisted on finishing the job. Another 10 minutes passed before he finally came out. With the work seemingly back on track, the boys began to relax. Then, boom, a sudden explosion. Everyone went silent. The mission had barely begun, and already they had lost one of their own, but there was no time to grieve. They were immediately moved up to the front line, under the strict watch of Karl himself.